You know, all of this COVID-19 and what's happening in Oklahoma, it's out of control. School is supposed to restart in a month, and they're going full steam ahead. Our school system, and don't get me wrong, we live in a suburb that has one of the best in our state. They literally have one of the best rated, and that's why we moved to and built our house and have had Anna in this system since Head Start. I mean, we've built 2 houses here. We have committed to being here. And, you know, they started this return to learn path. And, you know, we knew that they were going to work to have these 3 type of options. And we had concerns with how these options were going to work. You know, the full traditional, the blended, and then of course virtual. Virtual, we knew just for the limited amount what we did last spring when school shut down was not going to be the option our daughter wanted. It was a battle to get her started, to get her focused on the computer. Most of you who have seen these videos know that Anastasia, our amazing daughter, I mean, she is absolutely stunningly smart, talented, but also high-functioning autistic, clinically diagnosed with severe OCD, ADHD, and ADD. So those underlying issues cause a lot of mass anxiety, mass other issues when it comes to educational side. And Rick and I understand that we now have a huge challenge ahead of us. At the start of this pandemic, we saw little inklings of, you know, some possible issues, but at the beginning, our state, we shut down proactively early to stave off what would be hopefully an early response that would flatten the curve and allow our state to weather this storm to a point that we would not be in a place today where we are and all of the surrounding states in the South, Southwest, Midwest, and but we are midway through July when we started this reopening on May 1st that our governor, Kevin Stitt, in place just to reopen us up. No mandates on mask wearing, no mandates on anything. Just open the state up because that's what Donald Trump wanted. Damn the science, damn anything. Just open her back up. At that time, we were at a place that we would maybe have 40 or 50. We had our highest cases were maybe 100, 125 cases at the max within that curve. So we, at a government level, they were saying it go down, and they wanted to reopen her up. We had a total of under 4,000 cases by May. A rational person could say they could understand their so-called thought process of opening up, but a rational person could also say, why didn't we have some simple mandates that one wears a mask out in public to ensure that we keep down this flattening of the curve, that we do everything we can to maintain a level of exposure to ensure we do not start this upwardly trend. One would have thought that would have been a solid opportunity to do something like that. Governor Stitt, the Republicans in the House, no. They were focused on other things. A Supreme Court, Oklahoma State Supreme Court had just overturned a law that said voters had to get a notary public to validate a absentee vote, because they were scared that an adult who had to go through a lengthy process to verify who they were, verify with personal information that they used to get a voter ID card, verify their driver's license through the state, in that the state issued driver's license number, your social security number, verify your address, verify information off of your voter ID card. All of that has to match the state database, including your county database, before you can even get to the screen that says, I would like to request an absentee ballot. They were more concerned that, oh, it's people are going to go online and they are going to steal absentee ballots and start stuffing cause voter fraud in the primary election. You know, it didn't happen. They tried to say it happened because on the primary election, we had a state question. That state question was passing, finally, Medicaid expansion. It passed by 51% of the vote to 49%. It barely passed, but it passed, and it was a milestone that Oklahoma will now be able to expand Medicaid to cover more than 250,000 more people in this state that will be able to have access to insurance. It will also create jobs and save our rural hospitals. The funny thing is, on that vote, it wasn't just Democrats versus Republicans. It was a close vote, but it was a bipartisan vote. It was voters all across the state that made those hard decisions. But there were counties throughout the state that voted against their own best interest, that were losing hospitals, that were losing doctors, that were losing access, that voted against it. And that is really disconcerting, because the people pushing the ads for the no vote used very deceptive advertising and deceptive practices. But I'm glad it passed, because now those people will still be able to have access to doctors, hospitals, nurses, and quality health care. But after that vote, it was those people. Because that vote was close, it was those people who said, because so many people requested absentee ballots because of not wanting to go get in line and vote in person because of this pandemic, that this primary election was full and rampant of fraud. And I was just like, and they literally were going to sue to have this vote wiped out, because they said it was so erroneous that so many people voted and requested absentee ballots. And what's funny is that they were saying that people voted by absentee and then went in person and voted again. What they forgot was, if you voted absentee, if you went in to vote, where your name is, and I know this because my husband and I requested absentee ballots, and our ballots did not arrive until the day before the vote. And we decided that we would just go to the polls because we did not have time to get that ballot signed in the mail and returned back to our Maine County Election Board for it to be counted. So we had to go in person and vote, masked up, sanitizer in hand, and when there, it said by our names, requested absentee ballot. We had to verify. We said our absentee ballots did not arrive until yesterday. And she said, I've had many people say that. I need you to read this aloud in front of me and two other election workers. It is an oath stating that you have not turned in your absentee ballot. Because we brought it there with him. We handed it over. And we handed it over to him. We signed the book, said our oath that we did not use them, and that we handed it over to him. We signed another sheet of paper saying that we did not use our absentee ballots. Signed the book for that we were voting in person, and then we got our actual ballots for voting in person. They do a lot just to ensure that you are not double voting and creating fraud. The state of Oklahoma goes above and beyond. You want to know why? If you get caught fraudulently voting, it's 5 years punishable in jail plus a $50,000 fine. So if you went through all those steps just to vote saying you're absentee, because there's no requirement that you have to vote absentee, and then you're going to go vote in person, you're going to go to jail and you're going to pay $50,000. If that's what you want to do to be able to vote, and then plus that's a felon, and that is a class of felony that you will not get your right to vote back. If that's worth it to you, fine. Go try it, and give me your name, because I will go ahead and turn you in, because you person are a worthless piece of shit. The right to vote is a most sacred thing that you can do once you turn 18. I'll be coming up on my 20th anniversary in 2 years of my right to vote, and I take that sacred. I have not missed a vote since I turned 18. My first presidential election that I got to vote in was Bill Clinton's, and I was proud to be able to vote for president. And I've been proud of every election that I've been able to work in, vote in, and be a part of. You should be too. You know, this is kind of a long video, and I know some of you don't like them, but it's okay. I'm just getting stuff off my chest. And then last night, Kaylee Ann McEnany, that little sorry-ass blow-up doll. Press Secretary Kaylee Ann McEnany, oh my God. What can I say? Well, I'm just gonna say this. Listen here, blow up Barbie Secretary McEnany. Your comment that the president said unmistakably that he wants schools open, when he says he means it and full of kids being able to attend each and every day at school, and the science should not be in the way. Well, listen here, blow up Barbie Secretary, Press Secretary McEnany. Science and medical professionals should be standing in the way at each and every fucking door. President Cheeto is not a professional in any of those fields, and neither are you. Just because you might have played dirty little nurse at one of your little sorority fuck parties in college, that doesn't fucking count. Until President Cheeto can actually grow a pair and realize that country and citizens, not his vanity and election, come first, and frankly, that podium in office for which you speak for can just shut the fuck up, can find real adults that can do the hard work, do what Europe and most of Asia did to get this under control, well, blow up Press Secretary Barbie McEnany, go sit the fuck down and shut up. Yeah, that's how I feel about her. Not very nice, I know. I would say the things that I say about Betsy DeVos, but they're even more unchristian and words that I shouldn't say, and especially there's a few C words, B words, a lot of F-bombs, A words, some tentacular words, and some other words that I know that my priest, when he sees this, if I said all of those words in here, he might have some grave concern that I have either had a full and unmistakably bad mental breakdown, which, you know, I wouldn't doubt if Father Tim probably thought I have had. But I'm just gonna say, Betsy DeVos, go find a very old and rusty used washing machine that has a metal agitator in it. Just pull the sides off and go ahead and just cut off the tub. And I hope that the agitator in the center is rusty and stuff. Go ahead and sit on it. Plug that bad boy in. And I hope it's so rusty that when you sit on it, it hurts. And then turn that thing on high. Don't use any lube, because I want it to hurt. That's how I feel, along with all those other letters of words that I want to use. Because right now, my daughter is so scared to return to school that she's having panic attacks, and we don't know what to do because our school is trying to figure out how to do school. I have teachers that want to be back in school to be with their students because they love their students so much. So Betsy DeVos, President Trump, blow up Press Secretary McEnany, pretty much all of Trump's, swampy of the swampest, you all can just go fuck off. And then go ahead and find an agitator like I just told Betsy DeVos, sit on it and spin. because you guys do not deserve the positions that you're in. God willing, and from what everything is showing, you will not be in that position much longer. And may we can repair the damage that you have done to this great nation, to our allies, and to this world. We can repair it, because at this point, you have so damaged it and our reputation that the America that we have always known as a good, kind, loving nation doesn't look like it. So, I will be glad when this election is over and we can see you finally removed and you can be erased, just like all of those Confederate soldiers need to be erased from our history, because you are not worth being remembered. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this, and I'm gonna say this. Thank you for giving a time to just watch my videos, humor me, allow me to say rants and raves, and just vent my mind. You don't have to listen, but you guys do occasionally, and sometimes you agree, sometimes you don't, and that's okay. It is okay to disagree and still be friends. What's not okay is to disagree and decide that you can't be friends just because you don't have those same political beliefs. I can get upset and try to have a conversation with friends that maybe we don't always agree. And a lot of times we have great conversation and we come to an understanding of this is how you believe and this is how you believe and this is where I am. And we may find some common ground in the center of things that we do agree on. But I'm not going to end a relationship because of not having all of these disagreements. So, I love you guys. Thank you for listening. Sorry about the cuss words if you find offense, but just know that we are in times that we never would have imagined, and it's okay. Take some time for yourself. Take some time for your mind. Take some time to just be mentally okay. I'm trying to do that, and I've needed to do that, and sometimes it can be hard to realize that you need to. I love you all.